Well, we're back. I've got some things I want to talk to you about with windows. This would also apply to doors. But we do want to build a door and window schedule. And the windows as they're set up in the software work fine, but they don't have some of the information you usually want to see on a door and window schedule, like rough opening width and rough opening height. I want them to be counted correctly. I'd like useful information in that door and window schedule. And the way the windows are set up in the software, they will be identified or tagged with numbers like 43 or 27 or 6. I like to take a look at my drawing and figure out if I need 5 different windows, what sizes they are, and set them up so they're numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of 27, 36, 48. I don't know. It's just the way we always did it in board drafting. I guess that was easier, but we have to set some stuff up. So here you see the basement plan in the PDF that I gave you. It says it has a sliding window here from the symbol. This is a bypass window that's 48 by 48. Rough opening, 48, 48. That's not enough information for me. This would be probably a utility room here, and we might have a small window in it. Wouldn't have to be a bypass, could be an awning window. If I were going to finish off this basement someday down the road, there'd probably be some walls around the bathroom here, and maybe a couple bedrooms here in the middle with a window somewhere in this area where it says 200 amp panel. I'd move that guy back into the utility room. So I'd put it back here. Maybe have a window here and a window here for egress in bedrooms. There might be a couple of small windows out here, or here's some shorter gliding or awning windows for a family room. If you're going to have some kind of a theater or family room here, not letting in a lot of light, but letting in some. So I usually tell the students they need to put 4 windows in this basement. 2 of them have to be egress. And so to meet egress, the bottom of the window can be no more than 44 inches from the floor. The left to right opening size of the window, the mechanical opening size, not the unit size, has to be a minimum of 20 inches. Vertically, the opening has to be 24 inches, and the opening has to be 5.7 square feet. So when you look at a door and window chart, you will see these tagged on here. So this is from Anderson, and this is the AW400gliding.pdf that I've put up in the resources. Any of these windows that have a diamond beside them, see this diamond here and here, those meet egress. So you do have a number of windows that meet egress. The ones without the diamond do not meet egress. They don't meet the 5.7 square feet. And they would have to be no more than 44 inches from the floor. So if I wanted to put that window in 44 by 44 in a bedroom, so I'm going to put 2 of them in that are that size, and then I'm going to put in 2 of these smaller G42s maybe. So what I'm actually going to do on a piece of paper is I'm going to write down that I'm going to use this, here's a 4 foot by 4 foot. That's the rough opening. It's the G44, so I'm going to write down G44. And I'm going to go over here and look at its rough opening size, and this is the minimum rough opening, is 4 feet, so the RO is 4 feet or 48 inches, whichever one you want. And the RW is also 48. Then the unit size, here, the very outside one, is the unit dimension. So the unit dimension for that is 3 foot 11 and a quarter, 3 foot 11 and 1/4, probably the same both sides. Yes, that's the unit height and width. So the unit is actually 3 feet 11 and a quarter. We're going to have a 4 foot rough opening. So we've got 3/4 of an inch rough opening. That means you'll have 3/8 of an inch on each side of that framing to slide that window into. So those are numbers I want, and I might call this GW41 and make it window number 1. And then I could have window number 2 would be the, if I'm going to use gliders, could be the G42. So I'm going to make a G42 and a G44. And the G42 has a rough opening width of 4 feet, and it has a rough opening height, and again I'm writing these down, of 1'11". And then it has a unit size or width of 3'11½", and it has a unit height of 1'10½". Now you could go in and build a template file, and you could go in and edit the windows and a few other things. You could even put in the levels if you wanted to, and have your students draw the basement floor plan and the first floor, and tell them you want the G42, the G43. You could make all these windows, and then you could save it as a template file and put it away. We do have other windows available. Here's well, that's the gliding windows. I also put up there on in the resources double hung windows. Look at all the double hung windows, and if we zoom in, there's even some arch top ones. You do have arch top windows in the software. But again, look for the triangles. Anything with a triangle meets egress. It means the bottom half of that window, when open, will meet egress. So we're going to go into the software and create a couple of windows. And then this video, I may have to stop and start another one. I don't want it to get too long, but I've recorded the notes for the G44 and the G42. I'm going to go make those, and then I'll probably stop it and we'll go set up a window schedule. So minimizing those, I'm in the software. If I go to window, it's going to come up with the windows that are in here are fixed. They do not operate. So if I want gliding windows, I have to go up to Insert, Load Family, and windows are way down here at the bottom. And here's the different types of windows. There's casement. I believe it'll be a sliding window. A slider with trim. I like to take the trim off of them because most new windows aren't trimmed. When you put your vinyl siding up or your siding, they use J channels and stuff. So if I open that up, now I have a slider with trim. It's a 36 by 48. I've got all kinds of them. So I can find one that's close. Here's a 48 by 48. I'm going to edit the type, and I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm not going to call it 48 by 48. I'm going to call it G44 to match the name that's assigned in Anderson. You don't need to use Anderson Windows. If you want to get Pella or Winco or something else, that's fine, but I like to use an actual window. Here's the height. So this is the unit height that's set here. The unit height is actually going to be 3'11½". So I'm going to put 3'11.25". And then the height and the width. Do the same thing, 3'11.25". Make sure you get the foot in there, the rest will take care of themselves. It has exterior trim and interior trim. If you want trim on the inside, that's fine. Might be 3.5. Some of the new windows, when they put them in, they have inserts that you run sheetrock into, so they actually have no trim. So you could set that at 0 inches. Outside, I want it to look like it has the J channel, so I'm going to put the 0.5 inches. Make sure you put inches. If you wanted wood trim on the inside, you could leave the wood trim on the inside. I like to come down here then and put the rough opening width and rough opening heights in. Those are going to be 4 feet. at 4 feet. And where it says unit or type mark, the type mark is 16. That's window number 16. I'm going to make it 1. This is going to be on my door and window schedule. On my window schedule, it'll show up as window number 1 instead of window 14. If I want to, here's the manufacturer. Yes, I think it's EN for Andersen Windows. The model, if I want on there, that is the G44. And so I'd say OK. Cannot make slider with trim, G44. It made it. Don't know why it said that G44, what did it not put in? I didn't take the manufacturer. The model. I'll just apply that and say OK. I didn't like the model being in there. The model being the same as the name. The G44 will work. Edit type. I could just duplicate this G44 and call it G42 because a lot of the measurements will be the same. I can go down and make sure that this is, instead of type mark 17, this could be window number 2. And the manufacturer is Andersen. It's not taking that. 2, it took 2 in Andersen. We're going to go up and have the height be not 4 feet, but the height is going to be 1 foot 10 1/4, 1 foot 10.25, and the width is going to be 3 foot 11.25. Rough opening width is 4 feet. If you just put 4 in there, it assumes feet. And the rough opening height is 1 foot 11. 1 foot 11 inches. So we've got a G42. Oh, the thing I did not edit on that, I need to check, is my trim. I'm going to set that exterior trim at 0.5 inches. I thought that would have stuck with the other one. This is 0. I don't know why I'm getting that error message. Alright, exterior 0.5. Let's see if we put 0.5 inches. It may not like the 0 on the 3.5 that I'm putting in. So let's leave it at 3.5. Yep. That's what was messing it up. So here's G42, G44. I'm going to check him one more time and see if that's what. Yep, it didn't like this being 0.5 inches, and I'm leaving it that at 3.5. Got the Andersen, the type mark. This is supposed to be 1. Duplicate type mark values. It's still 1. There's another window in there with 1, but I had to say OK and override it. Let's see what G42 has. One more time. Type mark is 2. It's Andersen. We've got our 1/2 inch, 3.5. Alright. We're set and ready to go. So I'm going to come back in a minute and place windows and then show you some stuff with door and window schedules.